Welcome to another episode of Future Focus brought to you by ICICI Lombard. Here, we speak to the insurance company's top leaders to understand how they are charting new courses for growth. I have with me Amitabh Jain, who is the head of motor and health underwriting and claims at ICICI Lombard. Welcome, Amitabh. How are you?
I'm very good. Very pleased to be on this platform with you, Vishal, and look forward interacting with you.
Today is a very special day for me because I want to know more about this micro enterprise insight. Could you start with what led to the creation of the IL TakeCare app? And what are some of the challenges that you were looking to solve with this app?
Yeah, so it all started with this whole, challenge of how do we engage with our corporate customers and their employees, right? Especially on the health side. So typically, if you know about the group health insurance policies, they work with, the concept of issuing a group policy to the corporate, and the employees become part of the coverage, covered by the corporate by paying directly to the insurer, but the beneficiaries are the employees. But what happens is most of the time, the relationship is generally between the insurer and the corporate. Okay, and we don't get to know the employees that well, and sometimes even their interactions are very convoluted, in the sense they go through either HR or ops or some other department, then they reach us and then we respond to them, and there's a whole lot of cumbersome process around the same. So even if, say, an employee has to change, say, an error that has occurred in the beneficiary name, for example, or their age, okay, or one of their family members who's part of the coverage, then it is a very long drawn process and very cumbersome to the employee. Also, they don't get to see us as to what all features we bring to the table along with the coverage of the health policy, because we are trying to extend the definition of health coverage beyond simply insurance. Okay, we want to get it into wellness, into how to keep our customers healthy rather than just paying for their claims. So we said, let's create a platform where we had this opportunity for employees to come in and just by recognizing them through their email ID or whatever corporate was willing to share as identification, being able to register onto that platform and then interacting with us directly, and also in the process use some of the other wellness features as well as a lot of other services that we bring to the table directly rather than going through various hoops. So that's how the whole thing was thought about, and that's how it started.
And I like this fact that it's very user friendly, right? That was the thought process, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's how I think you made it employees first for the group insurance policy takers in the corporate side. So that way it's
Yeah.
easy to use.
So those
What
were
happened?
some of the principles kind of we worked upon, that, let's think it from their perspective as to how they would like to kind of consume the service, how they would want to interact with us, what would they understand from a particular term, what are the ways they will be able to deal with us in a way which is simple and easy to communicate as well as to comprehend. So those were some of the basic sort of principles on which we started building the whole thing.
Okay. You're almost like a startup for me, and we were just talking about it. You've been leading this effort for a while now, and I want a little bit of the history from the beginning, the last 1 year that you've started it, because it's been a very successful app. I'll Take Care app has been downloaded about 2.5 lakh times, or 250,000, right? Downloads
Right,
that you've had.
right.
This is a phenomenal success in 1 year. A lot of people struggle to get to, let alone 10,000 downloads, but you guys have done it. So I'd like to know that inception, since you came on board and you started handling it, what's happened, and why the success.
Yeah, that number looks good, 250,000. But if you really look at it, we are still, scratching the surface given the big base of customers we have. So when we actually go to the number of lives we cover through various corporates, and now, of course, we've extended to retail customers as well. And now we're going beyond health to motor and other products. So the entire base of policies that we have is huge. And on that, if we consider 2 lakh to 50,000, it's a good number, but we're just getting started. so to say. Going back to the time when we started developing it, so it was sometime around March of last year, and we set a 45-day target to launch the app. And we said that let's work on the new sort of principle of agile, and we created sprints, 15-day sprints, to come out with the first basic app that we had in mind. And believe you me, it was while yes, it was very, very challenging, but we actually delivered, and we had the launch of the first version of the app on 17th of May last year. So kudos to the team that worked on it, which continues to work on it. And it was really very, very refreshing, very, very energizing to see youngsters coming and doing their bit apart from the regular stuff they were sort of involved in various functions, and we could deliver. So I think it was the newness and the whole concept and the way it was sort of grown from grounds up, and that ownership came in each member, that we have to make this happen. I think that is all what it took to kind of make it happen.
Okay, the success you mentioned was, one is the ease of use, one is the team, right? Were there any other factors that contribute to I'll Take Care app's
So
success?
that was more on the launch, but for the to answer the second part of your last question, that why or how we could reach 250,000 in a year. Yes, I mean there are 2-3 things we did. One is, of course, we made certain features in the app which are not only user friendly, but it also kind of enabled them to say verify their card on the app itself, and need not go through the mails and other routes that typically are much more cumbersome. And then we said, if you want to claim anything, you just verify the card and you come from here. So as a process, it was set in a way that you anyway have to download the app and then kind of start using it. The other one was all the wellness features. We actually went to corporates and did a lot of webinars and other engagement through their HR and other functions, where we were able to do these sessions with the corporates to say that, look, this is what we have built. And while the webinar was on, say, a particular aspect of wellness, it included downloading of the app during the discussion, and that's where employees experienced it themselves during the webinar and then kind of continue to use it. So it is not only the downloads, but it's also the active usage of the app which has happened. See,
That's a
sometimes
key.
sometimes you get downloads, but then you don't have active engagement going after that, or people kind of delete the app, or they will never revisit it.
Yeah.
But with our continuously coming up with new features, so we introduced almost 1 to 2 new features in the app every couple of months. In fact, in some months we introduced 3, 4 new features,
This
and
is interesting.
and then that kind of built from there, and gradually then we enabled the other products also sometime in February, March this year. So we had motor coming onto the app. We also had retail customers coming onto the app apart from the group customers. So that also kind of completely changed the entire spectrum of people who could come onto the app and engage with us as well as experience it. Also,
It's
during
in,
the COVID times,
yes,
what we
please
did
go
is
on.
we took a special approval from the authority and offered 2 teleconsults complimentary to all people who downloaded the app, because it was required at that time. Everybody wanted to be not venturing out, and they wanted to for anything they wanted to talk to a doctor. So we said, this is the time when they actually need us most, for us to be able to give them a platform where they can do a teleconsult without any issue. And actually that helped drive the numbers as well.
Very interesting. You mentioned retail for I'll Take Care. How did you manage that? That is such a scale kind of a subject, right? How did you handle that scale for this app?
The initial part, as I said, was built around the whole corporate user, okay, the corporate employee user. But
Correct.
if you really look at it, even a corporate employee is finally a retail user for us. Okay,
Correct.
so a lot of features when they were being thought through, okay, were actually developed from a retail point of view only. It was just that the employee happened to be coming through us to us through a corporate. So the thought process was that let's treat these people as retail users only, because the experience has to be something which has to be like
Well said.
any retail customers. And then finally, when we started thinking about other products, then we started thinking about how do we change the UI and UX so that ultimately it should give the feel and comfort of other products as well, not simply health and wellness. And that's when we started working on a completely new UI and UX, which we launched last month.
Very interesting. That's what my next question was about. Apps is such a competitive environment. It's very difficult to stand out. And
Right.
why does IL TakeCare stand out? We mentioned a few use cases, but certainly in industry standards, it must be really good out there to be highly competitive with the rest out there.
I think it's about how you are conceiving the whole thing and what you're trying to build on the platform. So very rarely you get a combination of, especially when you talk about insurance, you get a combination of the actual insurance product and services, but also a lot of value added services along with it, and the fact that you can also go and start buying stuff there. So that this combination of
Yeah.
everything is something which makes it very, very potent. And the value addition that we have done, for example, I talked about teleconsult. There are other features that we have built, like you can take a health risk assessment, okay, through a bot. You can chat with an expert on diet, on weight loss management, and so on and so forth. You can have trackers for your steps, for your sleep, for your water intake, for your meditation. You can keep a record of all this through all your documents in a vault that we provide 1 GB of space free to all our customers. Then we have built the complete outpatient services. So somebody who's got a coverage of outpatient treatment along with the regular hospitalization policy, they can actually do a complete cashless consumption of doctor consult, diagnostics, ordering pharmacy, everything from the app. So very rarely you get this kind of a combination coming onto one platform and being able to service. And you anyway have your regular insurance services there. So you can endorse your policy there, you can
Yes.
raise a claim there, you can renew your policy there, so on and so forth. So that these two combinations kind of made it maybe stand out, but I think we have just started.
It's interesting you mentioned the concept of sprints for I'll Take Care. That means you're constantly innovating.
Yes.
And that means you can launch anything rapidly because you've already prototyped and you're ready with the platform.
Right. So, that is something that we took as a new sort of initiative within the company also, because the agile way of working was something that we were not used to, and it was just being talked about, but we actually made it happen. So we actually got into that agile mode of working through this particular ME, and we realized that it really is a great way of sort of working while you're experimenting with a lot of new stuff and trying to
Mhm.
build things on the go. Because typically, if you look at any other IT initiatives, that we would have taken over the years, the idea is to first create a document which is kind of perfect. You try to create a complete scoping of the entire system, what it will do, what will be the input fields, what will be the output fields, what will get processed, how, etc., etc. And then finally, by the time it goes to production, say in 6 to 8 months time, or by the time it comes out, you find that a lot of things have changed, and you realize that it requires immediately changes to be done. But whereas in agile, what you're trying to do is you're building with a certain basic model and then improving it as per your actual interaction with customers and a lot of other stakeholders.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. Leading to the next question, which is very logical. And you mentioned it briefly, and I want to go deeper into it. The customer centric approach is very essential for the insurance industry because it's service industry, right? When you have a corporate umbrella like ICICI Lombard, customer centric principles, right? You must have used those principles in the I'll Take Care app while you were thinking like a startup, agility. You brought the best of the corporate world into this app in terms of service delivery, because that's the most important thing in today's world.
Right. So that is anyway, customer centricity is basic pillar of our overall principles laid down under our vision. And that is something that we always keep in mind whenever we're developing anything, be it a product, be it a service, be it any new initiative. Everything revolves around finally the end user and the customer. Particularly for I'll Take Care, what worked for us is that because of the agile mode way of working, what we did is that we continuously worked on various research and outreaches that we did as we kept on building the app, and therefore we had a lot of feedback coming in all the time, and that helped us do those soft nudges, that okay, instead of placing this icon here, place it there, because most customers feel it's more sort of looking nice, or maybe they find it useful to click it over there. Also, while we were building the app, we could actually see which all parts of the app were being visited by customer more often. Okay, which kind of helped us in actually tracking where the customers were going more and why, and that gave us feedback as to what we should be doing next, so to make it even more customer friendly. Over and above that, our
And
engagement
this
sessions
data.
at the corporates. So
Yes.
when we did these webinars and others, we actually got a lot of feedback through the direct mode as well, that where employees were able to reach out to our representatives and being able to talk to them as to what they are liking, what they're not liking, etc. So I think a combination of tech as well as this outreach, I think helped us to make it even more customer friendly.
It's interesting you mentioned that you can track every journey that the customer takes on the app. And it's very important because they're obviously giving you consent and they want better service. And while you take care of that journey, right, people have to understand that, some of their needs are easily catered to. For example, healthcare is something that must have been a big thing over the last 6 to 7 months or 9 months even. How did the app help? How does the user interface help for the healthcare needs of, people in this case?
So I talked about various features that we built, and
Yeah.
while we have created various sections for, say, the policy, the network, the health network or the motor network for say hospitals and
Yes.
workshops, but what we've created is a section for value-added services, right? That talks about all our wellness features. So
Yes.
you have teleconsult over there, you have the chat facility over there, you have the health risk assessment there, you have the trackers there. So these are the features which are readily available to all our users. Even anybody who's taken a policy gets these without any extra payment or any extra, feature to be bought. So once you are on the app, these are available to you and you can start using them. The way we have driven some of these is through our continuous engagement, either through the app itself. So we continuously keep sending notifications on the app. The other is we keep nudging them for various stuff through blogs. In our corporate meets, we actually take up a particular topic and talk about it, and then say, hey, look, it is also available on the app here. So these are
And
various ways of
okay.
working, but I think the
Okay.
teleconsult feature and the chat facility with our experts, I think, became very, very popular because of the current times as well. People
Okay.
didn't want to venture out; they wanted to use a contactless way of operating, and
Okay.
I think that helped.
Okay. There are a lot of emerging trends when you start talking about how does one use the app, and people, you talked about teleconsult, and with teleconsult also comes telemedicine. And I think the government changed the rules on telemedicine in March 24th, right? And I think your app would have played a major role. I'll Take Care app would have played a major role during this COVID crisis. And do you want to talk about that a bit
Right.
and some emerging trends because of this app? What do you see the app focus on in the future? What's going to happen with all these value added services? They're going to probably aid your physical business even more.
Absolutely, Vishal. What's happened is that when these guidelines came, in a way, it was a blessing for us because we were working with a provider who already was compliant to all of these because they were working internationally as well, and they knew how this entire thing works. So we were actually ready from day one to be able to provide these services, number one. Number two, I think this whole approval that we got in quick time from the regulator, that we can offer these on a complimentary basis to all our customers, okay, also came in very handy because we could simply make that announcement that, to all our users, that you can simply go and use this particular feature on the app. And we made it very, very seamless. We made it available 24/7. The vendor could provide services across the week, 24 hours a day. And we made it simple by saying that you just have to go and click this particular icon, and it allows you to someone to call you back within 15 minutes. And you're actually talking to an MBBS doctor on the call, and it follows with a prescription sent on mail. So the whole trust around the feature also went up, because people realized by looking at the prescription that there was an actual signature of a doctor coming there with his registration number, and he's being an MBBS doctor. So it's not simply that there is somebody talking to me on the phone, but there is actual physical evidence to show that I've spoken to someone who knows what it is all about, and it brings that much more trust to the whole process.
And
Now the
I want to
current trend
go
is
on,
yeah.
go on. You're saying the current trend.
And
Pardon
now
me.
the
Go on.
current, you asked me about trends, right? So
Yes.
obviously this will now move towards video consultation. At some point, customers and patients would talk to a doctor and actually view the doctor as well. And the doctor would want to view the patient as well. For certain kinds of ailments, for certain kinds of issues, it's better to be able to see each other, right? So that's another thing that is going to pick up. Another thing that we've done, so initially we launched the services only for general practitioners to be available. Very recently, we've launched, consultations for specialists as well. So we got this continuous feedback from various customers and corporates that,
Nice.
at the end of the day, a lot of people are not calling because they think my particular problem cannot be solved by a GP. While when we started, we introduced the teleconsult, where you only had general practitioners available on the teleconsult feature. But based on the continuous feedback and our reach out to both corporates and other users, we found that a lot of people were not calling because they wanted to talk to a specialist, because they thought their particular issue required a specialist attention and not a general practitioner. So given that feedback, we've now added more than 10 specialties, onto the teleconsult feature on the same platform. So, once you call up and, if you're covered for that particular service, then you are able to connect with a particular specialist as per your requirement, or, if they are busy, or, the appointment is not taken initially, then they will call you back at a given time.
That's it. That's very interesting. You said it's not just an MBBS doctor or qualified GP. You will also get a qualified person to come on this call. That is so fantastic, which also goes in line with the philosophy, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the philosophy of ICICI Lombard, right? It's what it's called, keeping promises or something. Am I right? And
Nibhai Vade.
that's amazing. So, and the feature is called Hello Doctor, if I'm correct. Is it the right feature that I'm
Yeah,
talking
so
about?
we've called it Hello Doctor. The teleconsult feature on the app, you find the icon called Hello Doctor, through which you are able to connect this. And it's a very simple process. You just go click Hello Doctor, and you get a confirmatory message that, do you really want a doctor to call you? If you say
Nice.
yes, then within 15 minutes, an MBBS doctor would be in touch with you.
Okay.
And that
What
is
are the other? Okay,
available
that's
24/7.
What are
Yeah.
the other trends and trends that you look at when in technology? You look at so many trends. You've added so many value-added services. What are the immediate trends that you want to capture, and how are these trends going to impact the industry?
You're talking specifically about teleconsult, or you're talking about in
I'm
general?
talking about the app itself. The app itself is now unveiled so many possibilities for you. So, what are some of the
Yeah.
other trends that you noticed emerging from IL TakeCare?
So one of the things that we are seeing is increased traction around the feature that I earlier spoke about, called health risk assessment, right? And that's a bot-enabled feature where you can simply take an assessment by simply answering some questions which a bot keeps asking you. And at the end of the questions, you get your entire health risk profile created.
Mm-hmm.
And that when you add it up with your other features, where you are able to say talk to our chat with one of our experts, say on weight loss management or on diet and nutrition, you can
Nice.
combine that and start working on some of your areas of concern when you see your health risk assessment. So we see a lot of take up happening there. Okay, and the second trend that we are seeing is the whole use of a desk that we have created called health assistance team that we have. It's called HAT on the app, right? This is a team, in-house team that we have, centralized team that helps people to reach out and talk about any issues they are facing about, say, reaching out to a particular doctor, wanting to know about an hospital, wanting to understand about a particular opinion that a doctor has given them, and they want to check for a second opinion. So there's a lot of doubts at times, right? After you've met a doctor
Yes.
or after you have kind of gone for an initial consult and you want to check certain things, and people generally find it difficult whom to talk to. So therefore, we've created this very specialized desk, which has doctors in it as well as some other professionals who are able to guide customers with all these issues. So we have seen that a lot of traction around that as well, especially in these difficult times.
And I think customization is the future because I'm sharing my data. I'm okay to understand my health through the app, and then I can buy the policy that that suits me, right, Amitabh, through the app.
Right. So the buying option is something that will come very soon. Right now,
Okay.
we do not have the buying option on the app, but we have the renewal option. What we've created as a first sort of small niche product that we think is something which everybody should have is what we call as emergency assistance. Now, this is a feature or a coverage that can be bought on the app, which gives people a number of teleconsults and emergency assistance when they need it. So what it does is, if you buy this cover and whenever you need an ambulance, you call this number and within 45 minutes an ambulance will be made available to you.
Wow. That's very powerful.
So yeah, so what people we realize that this is something which an emergency assistance will create that. Again, from an engagement point of view, while it's a service which is required very rarely, but then if it is there, it is so reassuring that on the touch of a button you can reach out to someone who can arrange an ambulance for you. So that's a way of, again, giving value-added services to our customers and making it affordable.
And that has been a fantastic interview for me because if I have to summarize, right, you know, the app itself, right, is customer centric, right? And I'll Take Care focuses on teleconsult. It has 24 hours doctor availability and you have specialist doctors. You understand every person's health habits. I can get my health assessment done, and that way I can renew the policy that I like. And you're adding a whole host of features going forward,
Yep.
and it's an interesting time,
Yep.
and I congratulate you on the app, and I'm sure the audience watching it too will appreciate that ICICI Lombard has launched this I'll Take Care app. It's been a year. It's almost like a micro enterprise, and it's scaling up very fast. I'd advise them to go check it out. Amitabh, on that note, thank you very much for being on Future Focus. Thank you.